Hello everyone. Today we will talk about JavaScript numbers. In JavaScript numbers, we will talk few points. We will cover some few points like JavaScript numbers, adding numbers and strings, numeric strings, NaN. What is that NaN? We will talk about everything. Infinity and hexadecimal. Numbers can be object or not. We will cover all these topics today. So let's start with the JavaScript numbers. So, what is JavaScript numbers? JavaScript has only one type of numbers. Numbers can be written with or without decimal. I will show you an example. Here we are using var x equals to 3.14. This is basically a number with decimal, and var y equals to 3, a number without decimal. I will show you an example with the this is our code editor and this is our window. Okay, so now here I'm just adding only a document dot get element by id is what is id is demo dot inner dot html. What we have to print here, whatever variable we are declaring here, that will assign here. Okay, so I'm using firstly I'm using 3.14. This is basically a decimal value. Okay, so just save and refresh. So it's showing 3.14 with decimal values. If you are using 3.14 only 3, then it will show a number value. Okay, so whatever you are giving here, so that output is presenting here. Okay, so we have this type of data numbers. So with decimal you are saying, and without decimal you can say. Or we have some extra or large small numbers can be written with scientific exponential notations. Like if you have a big number like 1 2 3 0 0 0 0 0 like this. So what you have to write, instead of 0 you can write it like this: E5. That means 5 times 0. So if you will print that output, that it will print 1 2 3, and after that 5 times 0 will print. So okay, so this is basically a large number. 1 2 3 4 5 zeros is coming. Okay, if you will print a negative value, like lower value, then you can do it like this: -5. It What is the meaning of this? It is the meaning of this is like 1 1 2 3 divided by 5 times 0. 1 2 3 4 5 5 times 0. Okay, so this will produce the same output this will produce. Okay, so I'm removing from this from here, and now refreshing, so it's showing 0.0.13. So this is basically a number is so number is basically a one type of numbers that can be a decimal, without decimal, long number or short numbers. Okay, so now move to the other point, that is adding numbers in the string. So here as something is warning is coming in a picture, like JavaScript uses the plus operator for both addition and concatenation. What do you mean by concatenations? When you are adding two numbers, that means you are addition of that two numbers. When you are adding two strings, that is called as concatenation. Okay, I will show you an example. If you add two numbers, then result will be a number like this. If I'm showing that is 10 and where y is 20, then where z equals to x plus y, then output will be z. So this is basically a plus operator. When you are adding numbers, then it will produce a number, and it will add, then result is 30, and if you will click refresh, and then 30 will produce. Okay, and if you are adding add two strings, now if you will add two strings 10 and 20. So basically, when you are using double inverted inside inverted commas, then it will represent it as a string. If you are not using any directly, you are using 10 20, then it is a number. Okay, so it is basically a string. So what will be the output of this? you are supposing to getting the output of is 30, but it will produce 10 and 20. So basically this plus operator treat it as a concatenation when you are using strings. Okay, now I will add number and string. Okay, I'm taking first number and first string and another is number. So what will be the output is output is same 10 and 20. Okay, because it's print it when you are concatenating with string and a number, then output is also a string. Okay, now I'm doing first one is this number and another one is a string. So it will also display the same output. Okay, so we are seeing two strings, numbers and string and number concatenation, string concatenations. Some we face some common mistakes like that. I will show you some common mistakes. Like, okay, I'm using x and y. Okay, z. If we I'm not using z here and I'm doing like this x and y, then output is 30. Okay, I will show you 30. But if you print here something like this, hello, and then it's plus, and then it will this one. So this is basically a first a string, then it integer, and then int integer. So it will basically this plus operator is treated as a concatenations. So it will concatenate in first string, and after that this number and this number. So it output is hello 10 and 20. Okay, so this is the basically many peoples are doing some common mistakes. Okay, so I will give you another example for a common mistake like this. Okay, if I'm doing like this, I'm adding 30, x is string, as x is an integer, y is also an integer, z is string. Then I'm printing var result. Okay, var result equals to x plus y plus z. Then I'm showing here is result. Now what you are supposing to get an output, I think you are supposing to get an output is like 10, 20 and 30, because this is adding with a string, so you are supposing to the 10, 20 and 30, but output will be at 30 and 30. Why it is 30 and 30s? Because JavaScript interpreters works from left to right. First it's treated left and right. So x and y both are numbers. So first 10 plus and 20 is added. Then 30 and 30 string is concatenating because z is a string. Okay. So now let's move on to the numeric strings. JavaScript strings can have a numeric content where x equals to 100 and where y equals to 100 with a string. So this is basically a number and this is a string. Okay. Not JavaScript will try to convert strings to numbers in all numeric operations. What does that mean? When you are JavaScript will always try to convert strings to a number in all numeric operations. Suppose I will show you an example again for numeric strings where x equals to 100 is a string and where y equals to 10 is also a string, and you are dividing x divided by y. This will definitely will work. I will show you an example. Suppose I'm removing from this and here I'm using result you can use and removing z from here. Now I will divide y divided by x, and I'm adding this basically a string, not an integer. So x equals to 10 and y equals to 20, and we are printing result. So what will be the output? String and string will definitely will be converting into a string. So output will be 2. Okay. And if you can do it like this, multiplication, that it also will work. If you will do minus, then it will also work. But when you are doing plus, that it will not work, because when plus symbol comes in between of the strings, then it will treat it as a concatenation. So that means it will produce the output of 10 and 20, 20 and 10, because we are printing y first. If we will do it like this, x and y, then it will be the output of 10 and 20. Okay, so this is the main point here. You have to take care of this. Okay, you have to simply learn from this. When plus is coming in between strings, then it will concatenate, otherwise then it will add in the number case. Okay, now come to the next point, nan. What is the meaning of nan? Nan stands for not a number. Okay, this full form is not a number. In JavaScript, NaN is a reserved word indicating that a number is not a number, a legal number. Suppose I'm saying 100 divided by apple. So it's coming some number, but it's not a legal number. I don't know what will be the output of this. So that scenarios, JavaScript give a specific name NaN. Trying to do arithmetic with a non-numeric string will result in NaN. I show you as an example like 100 divided by apple. Okay, now I'm showing 10 divided by apple, a double ple apple, and okay, then what will be the output? And output will be not a number, because it is not a number, because when you are dividing something number to a string, then it will not produce any error. But if you will produce it like this, and then it will definitely will give you an output, because every strings converts in a numbers, trying to convert in a numbers. And sure, we already seen here numeric strings. Okay, so now you we have also a JavaScript function SNAN to find out if a value is a number. Okay, so how can we check that? Suppose we seen this output, this one. Now we have to check this is a number or not. Is we have an is nan, SNAN. This is basically a method. So this is basically gives an output of this is basically a number or not. So false. Why it is coming false? Because it's dividing in a string. If you are adding apple, okay, is nan. This is true, because this is not a number basically. Okay, if you will do 10 divided by 10, then it will false. It is a number basically. Okay, when you are divided with apple, then it's showing 2. Okay, where x equals to 100, and this one it returns true because x is not a number. Okay, when not a number is coming, then it nan will gives a true value. If you use nan in a mathematical operation, then result will also be nan. Suppose you are using nan here, and you are adding nan with 20, any numeric number, then what will be the output? Output will also be an nan. If you will add, if you will add nan with any number, then obviously the output will be the nan. Okay. For or the results might be concatenations. If you are supposing like, if you are adding with a string, nan with a string, then output will be concatenating nan then 20. Okay, so nan, what is nan? Nan is basically a number. That type of nan returns number. Okay, so this is basically a nan, and type of you can see is a nan. Type of this one is string, because we are adding with a string. If you are adding with a number, then type of this is a number. Okay, And if you are printing type of nan, yeah, where you can say type of x is type of nan is number. Okay, type of nan is number. That's the statement says type of nan returns number. Okay, now we will come to the infinity. What do you mean by infinity? Infinity or minus infinity is the value JavaScript will return if you calculate a number outside the largest possible number. Okay, suppose my number is 2 and we are adding an infinite loop. We are adding basically a while loop. Don't worry about the while loop. We will talk about while loop in our upcoming video. So here we have to understand the infinity or minus infinity. So I'm just copying this thing from here and I'm just commenting this one and then I'm outputting this one. So first result is 4, 16 to 56, this one, and it's increasing every time it's coming. Says E stands for, that means 30 times E is coming, zeros, E, then infinity. Okay, so infinity is basically a largest number. Largest number is the extreme limit, and minus infinity is the negative extreme limit. Okay, so division by zero is also generates infinity or minus infinity. I will show you. If you will do it like this, I am removing this while loop and here I am adding var x and var y and var z equals to divided by y. Now I'm printing z and divided by 0. 2 divided by 0, it will produce an infinity, and if I'm doing minus 2 is divided by 0, that will produces a minus infinity. Okay, infinity is a number and type of infinity is also returns number. Okay, you can check by this statement. This is coming infinity, type of z is number, basically a number. Okay, hexadecimal, we have a hexadecimal number also. JavaScript interprets number constant as a hexadecimal if they are preceded by 0x. We have values like this one. So instead of writing 2 3 and 4 5, you can write it like this also, 0x ff. So what will be the output of this? This is basically a hexadecimal number. Instead of directly writing 10, 20, 30, you can write hexadecimal number, binary number, and everything. So this output of this is 255. Okay, so we can write it like this. We have another format of the writing numbers, but we are using directly integers and everything. So note, never write a number with a leading 0 like 05. Some JavaScript version interprets numbers as octal if they are written with a leading 0. Okay, if you are writing like 0, they are treated like as an octal number. So we have an hexadecimal number, octal numbers, and decimal numbers, binary numbers. Okay, so but you can, by default JavaScript displays numbers as a base 10 decimal numbers. By default, JavaScript uses base 10 decimals, but you can use the toString methods to output numbers from base 2 to base 36. I will show you. Hexadecimal is base 16 and decimal is base 10. Octal, when you're talking about octal, so you comes in your mind like base 8. When we are talking about binary, it comes in your mind like we are talking about base 2. So we are taking a number, is my number is 32. So I'm also doing x is 32. And now what we are doing, my number dot toString decimal. So what will be the output of this? X dot to string to decimal. What will be the output of this? it will produce a 32. If you want to binary number, then what will be the output of this? It comes in a binary number 0101. Binary number is a 010101. Okay, and if you are talking about octal number, then it will be the 40. If you are talking a hexadecimal number, then what will be the output is 20. So these formats we are also using in JavaScript. So this is not using much, but sometimes we are using. So I'm just showing to you. Okay, numbers can be objects. Number can also be an object. Normally, JavaScript numbers are primitive values created from literals. When we are creating like var x equals to 1, 2, 3, it is basically a literals. Okay, type of x returns number because it's number. Its type is also written a number. Okay, but number can also be defined as object with the new keyword. Okay, so you can, but type of y returns object because we are creating like a object. We will do it like here where I'm removing var y and var z and adding var xy equals to new number. With the help of new keyword, you can add number is 32. Okay, just save and refresh. No need to refresh. You can add a y here. What will be output of this is 32. Whatever number you are printing here and 20 that is coming here. Okay. So do not, but it's not a good practice to use numbers as an object. So do not create objects. It's basically slow down your execution speed. The new keyword complicates the code. This can produce some unexpected results. Double equals operators basically operates equal values, but triple operators equal both values and type. Okay, I will show you. If you are comparing var z equals to x equal y, you are doing here a comparison. What will be the output of z is true. Okay, when you are comparing triple equal, what will be the output of this? I think you are supposing to be output is true, but output will be a false. Why it is coming as a false? Because when you are comparing with double equal, it compares only values of the both 10 and 10. Values of both x and y will be the 10. That's why it's coming true. When we are comparing with triple equals, it comparing both value and its type. Its type is number and its type is object, so that's why it's coming false. You can check like this. Type type of x is type of x is number and type of y is a object, so that's why it's printing different values. So when you're creating like two objects, I'm creating var z equals to same. Okay, now you're comparing vr result and we are showing result here y and z. What will be the output of this? You are supposing to be output will be true, but it's false. Why it is false? Because JavaScript objects cannot be compared. It's false because objects cannot be compared. In this objects numbers, you have to observe the difference between double equals and triple equals. Comparing two JavaScript objects will always return false. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good day and please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.